What's going on, fam? Coach Lucky here, and I want to talk a little bit about how to make a basketball team. I'm talking more about middle school, high school team, early high school, maybe JV, C team, or freshman ball, if you have that in your state. I'm not necessarily talking about varsity or college because I believe that if you're making, the youth at the youth level, AAU, high school, early high school, you should be able to be on the trajectory to make varsity. So a little bit about myself. I run my own basketball organization here in Greenville, South Carolina. It's a basketball club. Don't really call it AAU more itself. I focus more on development. So in this channel, I want to help younger players develop and get their game to the next level. So how do you make a team? And I think the first thing you have to understand first is what do you want to get accomplished out of making the team? Because I was one of those guys. I was on the cut list. I did not necessarily make the team. I was on the verge of making the team. Would I have been a starter? Probably not. With some grinding during the off season in the summer, could I have absolutely become a little bit better? Yeah, but I wasn't one of those guys that was going to start and give you major buckets. I was a role player. And I think the first thing you want to do or to see is, do you have what it takes to make the team, not only mentally, physically, but what is your goals? Do they align with, making a team? Do you see yourself as a starter to get buckets? Do you see yourself, as a role player? Do you see yourself as a sixth man? Do you see yourself on the bench? I mean, what do you see yourself at first before you can answer the question how you make the team? I think a lot of guys that's trained, they work hard to do all these different things, and they still don't get the results that they want to get as far as making the team because they are so caught up on to make the team part. But they make the team and they may not get no starter minutes because of some fact that a similar guy who plays their position is already on the team, already starting. And the coach is not going to take that guy, take him off the court just to put you on there just because you want to be. It has to be something that makes sense to help the team. So the first thing I want you to understand is, what is your goal when it comes to making a basketball team? The second thing I want you to understand is the fact that why are you trying out for this team? Why do you want to make the team? That should have been my first, and your vision should be your second, but it could be interchangeable. Why do you want to make this team? Because, what I tell my guys at my basketball club is the fact that you really need to love this thing called basketball. And if you're 6th, 7th grade, and you like, all right, I'm going to make my middle school team. Why do you want to make the team? Do you want to make the team because you want people to say, oh, you can hoop or you can play basketball? Do you want the girls or the boys to be out there, cheering your name, trying to figure out what's going on? Do you want the recognition without putting in actual work? Because a lot of guys, I seen this concept and I like it. It's called fake hoopers. I'm not saying fake hoopers that go to the rec or go to the park and they hoop and they kind of sort of do it. I'm talking about fake hoopers that go out and they say they want to do things, but when you get them in the gym, their action does not speak what their words are saying. So why do you want to do it? If you really love basketball, if you really want to make a contribute to a team, if you want to be a part of something bigger than yourself, then that's a strong enough why that could carry you to kind of figure out how you can make the team, right? So the first one is the why, the second one is to have a vision of what you're trying to do. The third thing I want to say is that what can you offer the team? Right? And a lot of these different things, this is even before you work out and you grind. These are mental things that you have to have in order to make a team because basketball is a mental sport. It's 80% mental, 20% physical. So if you could get the mental concept down, the physical will take care of itself. So when I look at a player or when I scout a player, I want to understand the importance of not only why they're doing it, but what can they add to the team? Are you a center? Or do you have height? If you're a guard, are you a speedy guard? Can you ball handle? Can you distribute? Can you play defense? The best way to get on the team is to play lockdown defense and stop your man from scoring. But a lot of people don't want to do that because you don't get the recognition, you don't get the stats, you don't get your name in the paper for playing major defense, right? But what can you offer? Are you an undersized guard that can shoot? And you can shoot the lights out. And if you get an open shot, you will knock it down 80 to 90% of the time. Are you an excellent free throw shooter? Can you get rebounds? Right? Can you drive the lane to dish out? Can you make your players better? So that's a lot of different things that you got to consider when it comes to that. What do you offer to the team? And a lot of people, they want to make these teams, but they don't have nothing to offer. They just like, yo, I hoop. What does that mean? If I want just hoopers, I can find hoopers everywhere. That's a hooper a dime a dozen. But when you start going this escalator called life in basketball, the higher you go, the more you got to know your role, or your journey in basketball would be exit out quickly, and you just be on the AAU circuit without even going to the next level, playing college ball, pros, overseas, whatever. And the last thing I want you to do is, what is your work ethic commitment? And we're going to break this down a little bit, but, there's a lot of videos that talk about the how to make the team as far as the physical note. Yeah, you can go out there and make 500 shots. Yeah, you can go do it like that, but what is your strengths? Right, if you're going to make a team, if I had a guy that came to my club and wanted to make a team and only got 3 to 4 months to train with them, I have to highlight his strengths and tell him if he's going to make a team, he better go through these strengths and show the coach that, yeah, I can do the different things, and your weaknesses will always be your weaknesses. You can work on that, but what do you offer? And work on that in the off season. If you can shoot, work on getting up shots, different angles, different areas, get somebody to rebound for you. Play a fall league, focus. If you can block shots, play pickup. When you play pickup games, just don't play pickup just to pick up. Work on your strengths to make sure that you're translating those strengths in those pickup games, so that when you get to tryouts, you're adequate as far as knowing what you can do on the court and highlighting that when you're trying out. You got 2 to 3 days to make an impression on this coach. And he has a ton of people that's trying out. So the thing that you have to understand is that you cannot just sit there and just say, I'm a hoop. What does that mean? Go out there, make something happen. And listen, man, if you want more content and more information, if you want something that I can talk about, man, write in the comments, explode. Like I said before, I focus more on developing and youth sports. When you get to those high level of high school, I think that there's mainly so many people that's talking to you, to those guys. But that's not very few of people that's underdogs, the people that really want to make a team that's not really starters right now, but want to grow, man. I'm here for you. Once again, I'm Coach Lucky, the entertainer, motivator, educator, and we're talking about how to make a team. It may not be a whole lot of tangible things, but there's a whole lot of mental things that you want to do. If you like this content, man, subscribe to the channel. And like always, until next time, people.